Hello and welcome to Zip Tie. Today we are about finishing the lawnmower and doing some test drives and maybe some test hits. So with that said, let's get into it. To kick off the episode, I'm working on the throttle. I bought a go-kart pedal because the door hinges I used previous weren't that great, and this looks a lot more professional. On the engine side, a barrel clamp is perfect for connecting the throttle body to the cable. The nose has always just been set on top of the motor, but I want that to change and I want to get fancy with it. The front will get 1/2-inch chromoly tubes and tabs, and on the back, I got some all black aluminum hood pins for the extra style points. A useful tip is if you put a dab of grease on the tip of the hood pin and close the hood, it'll give you an accurate place to drill. If you watched last episode, then you know this thing has velocity stacks. And the fun part is they don't fit under the hood, so I have to cut a hole.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Just like the gas pedal, I'm redoing the brake. This one will be handmade because I don't want to bet my life on the go-kart pedals, so this one is built from 1/8-inch steel and 3/16 for the plunger mount. I'm reusing the flange I made for the brake master cylinder last episode, but I'm reinforcing it with a set of 090 gussets. With the master cylinder mounted, it's time to get the whole braking system finished. I'm starting with hiding the reservoir for the master cylinder behind the dash panel and also slightly out of frame. I'm installing a bias valve in the lawnmower because I have no idea how to calculate the brake bias on this thing, so this is an insurance policy. The last thing you want on any vehicle is for the rear wheels to lock up before the fronts. This valve allows me to adjust how much brake pressure actually reaches the rear caliper. For the lawnmower, I went with regular steel brake lines because it's much easier to work with and it won't be as show-carry as the 914. These brake lines are super easy to make, but a little bit hard sometimes to put in. Thankfully, there's not that many brake lines on the lawnmower, so this process didn't take too long, and it is super rewarding, especially once you get to start bleeding. With all the lines made and tightened, it's time to recruit some poor soul to help with bleeding brakes. This was anything but normal because initially I didn't even have bolts for the brake rotors, but after introducing a lot of air and actually bolting the rotors on, the brakes work! Now with the brakes working, I can move on to the motor. Now the last time this motor ran, it shot a lot of oil all over the floor, so let's see if it is any better this time. And it immediately shot out oil. It makes a sizable mess on the floor, mainly because it's pressurized and shooting out of the oil filter O-ring. I narrowed down the issue to the oil pressure regulator, which means I have to unbolt the exhaust, unrivet the floor, and take off the oil pan. So no, I did not want to do this. I'm going to hope that this works, because then I will have exhausted all of my options until it's something inside the motor I can't touch. So let's hope this holds. Ah, it's burning oil. Yay, we're good. We're happy. I'm happy. Ah! The last thing on the list before a test drive is to mount the battery. A bent piece of 1/8 inch flat bar and some 090 plate with weld nuts does the job easily. All right, and just like that, this thing is, I think, ready for a test drive. Yeah, I think it's ready for a test drive. And that's scary. So I'm gonna get a helmet, get some gloves, I'm gonna get my big boy balls on, and give this thing a try. Here goes nothing. This thing is sweet. It's so stupid fast, as you can imagine. I love it though, man. Hit it. With the test drive finished and the cops being called once, we loaded up the lawnmower and brought it to Rockingham Dragway for No Prep Kings.
He's the king of the pit right now. Yeah.
After showing her off extensively, we naturally went to the back of the track and made some test hits. Having never driven anything like this before, I had no idea where to launch, but I was gonna figure it out. Okay, so I told you 640 pounds. We'll see what it is without me. 455. Okay. About right. I mean, that's not that heavy for something with 170 horsepower. That's 3 pounds per horsepower. Had a bottle on it, it's 2.
Motor's like 300.
Yeah, it's mostly motor. The lawnmower wasn't hooking at all on bare asphalt, so we tried doing burnouts and launches on track glue. Okay, so I was never actually able to take this thing down the track, though the track was begging me to do it. The shifter broke, which I could live with kinda, and then the clutch burned out. So between those two things, that kind of stopped that from happening. However, both those parts are on their way, and then next week, I am going to the drag strip and actually trying to get this thing to hook up because it did not like asphalt. So, if you don't want to miss that, and I certainly don't because it's going to be fun, subscribe, and I will see you next time.